is Moo.
And this is Fuji.
We just watched Emperor's New Groove, and what's his name?
I'm pretty sure I've watched this entire movie just in GIFs.
No, you gotta say Cusco, you jerk. Fuji, you gotta get with the program, man.
It's funnier to leave you hanging.
Fine, whatever. I've also memorized this stupid movie because of
GIFs.
like GIFs and parodies and people redoing this movie over and over. But even though I've seen this a billion times, this movie is still funny.
It's still a good movie.
I love this movie.
This is a beautifully animated movie. Holy crap.
Isn't it? It's
like,
so pretty.
It almost feels like it doesn't deserve it. Like, it's just this absurd little, like,
story.
But it's like Yzma's motion is just beautiful.
So I mentioned this we were watching. It's like they like combine the aesthetics of the evil stepmother and Maleficent
and Cruella de Vil.
Yeah, and Cruella de Vil, and then they took Medusa and stretched her out until she was like looks like she's literally like made out of bendy straws, and that's what Yzma looks like.
And it's wonderful.
Yeah, she's voiced by the late and great Eartha Kitt. We miss you, Eartha Kitt. You were beautiful in this.
This is amazing.
And I'm so sad about her cut villain song. I'm still sad about it. It is a good, if you haven't heard it before, it's called Stuff Out the Light. This is from when this movie, before it was Emperor's New Groove, it was a story called Kingdom of the Sun, and it would have been not a comedy, it was like...
actually serious.
Yeah, serious movie, and Yzma's plot would be to like, I think she wanted to get rid of the sun to restore her youth, was the idea. And
Which would have been great.
But
this
really
is great.
But I still, as much as I like, I'm a little bit bummed about Kingdom of the Sun being lost. This movie's still really good. Like Emperor's New Groove is still really good. It's like it's poor Pacha dealing with this fucking teenager. Which, by the way, Cusco's 17. In case none of you guys realize this, because I sure forgot how old he was. I guess. So it's just Pacha.
It's just not. It's not important.
No, it's not important. But I think that makes their interactions even funnier.
It's stern dad.
This is middle-aged dad with this like bratty teenager.
Too funny.
It is really funny. And this movie is very bizarre. If you've never heard of this, like if you've never seen this movie before.
How have you never seen this movie?
Well, like if you haven't like, and you look at a plot synopsis, you're like, what?
and they lampshade this.
They do.
A lot.
They do.
A lot.
They really do. But I just kind of it's kind of like, I love how absurd it is and how it's an actual Looney Tunes cartoon in the form of Disney.
Which, I mean, we're talking, so this is, what year is this?
2000, yep.
Yeah, 2000. And at this point, Space Jam was the height of Looney Tunes, and it was all just a quick slide downhill from there.
Aw, poor Looney Tunes.
And so this was like, it was like classic Looney Tunes.
It really Disney. Was, yeah.
It's like the whole world turned upside down.
Right? Yeah, I do like how it's kind of classic Looney Tunes in that sense. And it's, especially there's like several parts. One, the animation on Yzma especially, she was really Looney Tunes.
Yes.
And she actually turns into a Looney Tune as a
Yes.
cat at the end of the movie. And it's great. I really enjoy this.
And yet it's a little... I'm going to take back what I was going to say, because I was going to say something like Looney Tunes around this time was trying so hard to be like, it's the year 2000, it's the new millennium, we're radical and something. But this was like, Emperor's New Groove was like Looney Tunes, like in the classic sort of Looney Tunes, where it's like, I will watch this movie like forever. Like it's timeless.
All these great gags.
Weird cartoon humor.
Lots of jokes. The jokes are really good.
There's a really good sense of timing in this movie.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. And the nice thing about this, like, these jokes are kind of, like, they're pretty timeless, all things considering.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, we're getting into, you know, this era of these cartoon movies where they have to do, like, all these, like, weird, like, pop culture references.
Yeah.
And, like, Shark Tale.
We're not thinking about Shark Tale. Unless we watch DreamWorks movies, then we'll have to think about Shark Tale.
Well, we're not. But what I'm saying is that this movie doesn't do that.
No, it doesn't.
This movie does pretty funny jokes, and jokes that honestly would fly over, like, kids' heads.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, it's like, how that sounds funny. Then as an adult, you're like, oh my gosh, that was really funny.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just good. It's just good humor. It's like Homestar Runner humor.
You know what? You're right. This is a lot like Homestar Runner. I need to rewatch Homestar. I haven't watched Homestar Runner like
I love Homestar
decades.
Runner.
Oh my goodness.
Did you know the guys who made Homestar Runner are writers on Adventure Time.
Yeah, I did. When I
Doesn't
found
that
that
make
out, I was like,
all the sense?
oh, that makes a lot of sense. I've only seen a handful of episodes of Adventure Time, but yeah, you can tell
Yep.
it's their style, and that's pretty awesome, I think.
Yeah, I wonder maybe it's a generational thing because I feel like everyone that's our age loves this movie and loves that type of humor.
It came out when we were kids, like, we were
Yeah.
the target age group. I remember the ads for this movie very clearly, like, even
Uh-huh.
on, like, the posters, the commercials. I could probably recite the commercial, for Christ's sakes, because it was on so often, but, yeah, it's very much our generation of a
Yep.
movie.
Yep.
It's funny.
It is really funny.
It is so funny. And, I pointed this out when we were watching it, but, like, so this movie is, like, aesthetics is all Inca culture, like, South America, and that's kind of left over from Kingdom of the Sun,
Sure,
because it was
yeah.
all based in that. But weirdly, it's very disconnected from
Oh,
the
it has
culture.
nothing to do with it.
Yeah, no, not really. It's just kind of a thing, but it's not done the same way as, like, say, like Pocahontas, where it's because, you know what? I realized why. It's because the Empress New Groove is not grounded in reality.
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's totally surreal.
It just happens to look like South American culture.
Yep.
But it's like in this odd plane of dimension where South America has squirrels.
It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
Just don't worry
They just
about
have
it.
squirrels.
Yep.
They just do, and they have squirrels that can summon balloons out of nowhere. Yep.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. It
This
doesn't
is a
matter.
wonderful world.
It really doesn't. Nothing matters. Physics doesn't matter.
Nope.
Nature doesn't matter.
No.
Having what was the kid had the floor cleaner in that one scene?
That's right, waxing the floor.
Yeah, the floor waxer, that doesn't matter. I mean, who cares if it's ancient times and there isn't any electricity yet? It doesn't matter.
Because it's hilarious.
It's because it's funny. That's why. It is. This movie does run a lot of the rule of funny.
Oh, yes.
But does it so well. It's so good. Voice acting is also top notch. Everyone's good. It sounds fantastic.
Everything is good.
The animation is amazing. I really love the animation. I appreciate it even more now, because it's been a little bit since I've watched Emperor's New Groove. But like, yeah, I just love the facial expressions. Oh my goodness, it's so funny.
a big part of the humor and like something that I don't think we've seen in a Disney movie is that like there's a really unreliable narrator and it's like played for super laughs.
Yeah. Cusco's interesting as a character to follow. That's for sure. Because he's like this big brat and this asshole. He's like a big jerk. And I do like the little story he has going where he learns to not be a jerk, basically. But he still kind of keeps his pride, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And that's why I hate Emperor's New School a lot. I hate Emperor's New School.
Yeah.
It takes that all away. I really hate that. Like,
That's
fuck
fine.
that. I know there's some people who like that show, but I can't stand it because of that. I'm like, really? You couldn't come up with anything?
You know what I kind
better?
of wonder? You know, like for people who are, and I'm not saying like this is necessarily the case, but like I wonder like when you're working on a story that like you get to know the character as they are in that part of the story that you're working on, and then like when you're working on it, you're not necessarily doing it linearly. So like for people who are watching, it's like Cusco has this really obvious like character growth and stuff, and then for like other movies, I wonder if because they're not produced linearly that people get to know the character not really as the character that's being presented in this linear story, but they like get to know the character based on the part of the movie that they're working on.
Huh, yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. I know obviously the TV animation studios made
Sure, yeah.
Emperor's New
And
School.
I'm saying it's not necessarily the case for like Emperor's New Groove, but it like
right.
other movies in which sequels are like what happened to the character growth. Like I wonder, you know, if you're writing it not all in order, like maybe you get stuck on a part and that's like your impression of the character, and then you go to work on more work that has the same character, and that's why the character growth gets like all screwed up.
I could see that. I could also like see like just be, and maybe they just couldn't think of where to take it afterwards. I mean, you can take it in interesting progressions, you can, but it doesn't mean people are going to think about that, especially sequels and the Disney sphere. Even though their TV sequels actually are better, mostly more or less. Like I like the Aladdin one. I remember liking the Little Mermaid one. I didn't care for the Timon and Pumbaa one, but
I like Timon and Pumbaa.
You like Timon and Pumbaa. If you like Timon and Pumbaa, you're gonna like it. Okay. If you don't care much for them, you're not going to like it. That's the point to make there. But
I like Lion Guard.
I know you like Lion Guard. I've only seen one episode of Lion Guard. I haven't seen anything else.
We gotta watch some clips of Lion Guard after this.
We have to watch clips of Lion Guard.
One clip.
Maybe.
Okay.
It messes up the continuity even more, though, but whatever. If I'm going to talk about Lion King continuity, we were watching the second Lion King, and we're not doing Disney sequels yet.
Okay.
So, we'll go on to, but anyway, yeah, that I could see that being, like, a thing with the sequels that they make that aren't, like, midquels.
Yeah.
But yeah, granted though, like some things like say Mulan 2 has other problems that makes me hate that movie. But yeah, it's interesting. I'm surprised that there isn't like more stuff for Emperor's New Groove because this movie is pretty popular.
I think it just has that misfortune of like falling in this timeline of like the area of movies that Disney kind of glosses over.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they
and also
completely
being
ignore
right
it.
next to Lilo and Stitch.
You know what? You're right. You're right. It's like we're almost to Lilo and Stitch, so yeah, you're right. I think Lilo and Stitch just kind of ate it up. Oops.
Yeah.
Sorry. Granted, it's not like totally lost to like forever. It's just
I mean, I feel this one of all Disney movies is the one that's been memed to hell and back.
Oh my god, yeah, I was sitting there, I'm like, that's a meme, that one's a meme too. Oh, I remember when someone redrew that, like,
Follow the lever, Kronk.
Wrong lever! Why do we even have that lever? I like can quote this movie because it's been memed so much.
Yep.
And like I said, it's still funny. I think that's kind of nice. It kind of speaks to the strength of the writing, where even though we've seen it everywhere and we've seen it like done to death on the internet, like it's still funny. That's why it still keeps getting parodies of it.
I mean, run out into public and be like, first I'll turn him into a flea.
And yep, someone will recite it with you for sure.
Oh, there's a restaurant that we go to in our college town.
Oh yeah, that one, yeah.
That sings the birthday song.
Yep.
I've heard it so many times.
You've been there more than me, so.
I mean, I don't even go there often. The last time that I went, like, seriously, 8 people. Like, 8 times they sang that song. Loudly, because the whole staff comes out to do it.
Right, yeah, that's true. That's interesting. Yeah, I do like the restaurant scene. That's pretty great.
Yes.
I like it a lot. I like the weird bug thing. Like, I was wondering, what was in those pill bugs? Is it like actual pill bugs? Or is it just like a thing they put in and the pill bug is just, I don't know. I'm thinking of logistics too much in that regard, but I just...
Why are you thinking of logistics of Emperor's New Groove?
You shouldn't be thinking of logistics of Emperor's New Groove. You're not going to find any answers. I don't know, just a thought that went to my head because I always wondered as a kid, like, what was in there, really? If it was actual bug.
Oh gosh, someone should make that.
I'm sure someone has. Maybe not out of actual bugs, though I'm sure somebody would eat that.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure. So people have made recipes for Kronk's spinach puffs.
I have seen that, yes.
Mm-hmm. I haven't tried it myself, but I'm sure that would taste very nice. Have you seen the Kronk's New Groove?
I have not.
I have not either, because I saw commercials for it and I went, Disney sequel? Nope. I was old enough by then to be like, I'm not doing this. So
that said, this movie is so strange that there's so very few ways that you could screw up a sequel with Kronk.
That's true. I from what I know about the Kronk's New Groove is that it just kind of goes into his backstory, I guess, and his life, and it's something about pleasing his dad.
I'd watch that.
So I have no idea. I do not know the full context of it, and I think it does take place after the movie, as far as I understand. So
we should watch it.
Maybe we should. If we do the Disney sequels,
yes,
you'll be on there.
Okay,
we'll see that. We'll find out if it's like not crappy or not. It's hard to say.
It's hard to say.
Sometimes with those sequels, they could range from like, Cinderella 3 Amazing to Hunchback of Notre Dame 2. I'm gonna bleed out of my eyes and die. How's that for a range?
I like Lion King too.
Lion King's good. Yeah, anyway, well, do you have anything else to say on Emperor's New Groove?
Not anything that hasn't been said repeatedly since this movie came out.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it's kind of hard to... There's not much to talk about the movie, like, for a long time, because it's just...
I mean, you can go back and forth, like, whether it's, like, it's not a classic Disney movie, it's not as good as classic Disney, but it's, like, I love this movie.
It's funny.
So good. Okay.
It's a good comedy movie. So, our next movie is going to be completely different from Emperor's New Groove. We're going to watch Atlantis. Oh boy, poor Atlantis. We'll talk about poor Atlantis later, but yeah, we'll see you guys then.